Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.
At approximately 9:40 p.m. on Tuesday, March 29, 2022, Tabby Diamond's common-law wife Evanie Henry heard gunshots outside their gate in Olympic Gardens, St. Andrew. But unknown to her, the victim of the gunshots was her husband. Tabby Diamond was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in the Mighty Diamonds' native Jamaica, where the prolific trio were one of the country's longest-running and most venerated reggae acts. In the 80s, Prince Farai, the voice of thunder, was murdered inside his home on September 15, 1983. Also, that year, the child prodigy Hugh Mundell, who recorded the album Africa Must Be Free in 1983, was shot to death in Kingston. International reggae icon and original whaler, Peter Tosh, met a violent end in his home in Kingston on September 11, 1987, as did Carlton Barrett, the drummer for that legendary group, who was also shot that year. Osborne Ruddock, aka King Tubby, one of the innovators of dub, was gunned down on February 6, 1989, outside his home in Duhaney Park, Kingston, after returning from a studio session. This is the untold story of 1980s violent crime against reggae stars with Ras Dennis.
November 1980.
General Echo. General Echo was born Earl Anthony Robinson on December 8, 1955. He was a top reggae DJ of the late 1970s. He created a signature style of chatting nearly 100% explicit sexual content, now known as slackness, and paving the way for future Jamaican superstars such as Shabba Ranks and King Yellowman.
Under 17, now you're over.
General Echo was shot dead by police in Kingston, Jamaica on November 22, 1980, along with Selector Flux, who also worked on his Ecotone sound system, and Stereophonic owner Leon Big John Johns, after they had stopped the car they were traveling in. The incident has never been satisfactorily explained.
October 1983.
Hugh Mundell. Hugh Mundell was born on June 14, 1962, in Kingston, Jamaica, to a prominent Jamaican lawyer. Mundell was still a teenager when he teamed with influential producer Joe Gibbs to record a still unreleased single, Where Is Natty Dread? His first break came when he was hired as a DJ for Augustus Pablo's Rockers sound system. His debut single, Africa Must Be Free by 1983, produced by Augustus Pablo, was released in early 1978. Mundell also recorded several 12-inch singles as Ja Levi. Mundell was shot to death on October 14, 1983, in his vehicle on Grants Pen Avenue, Kingston, Jamaica, after complaining about a robbery at his home. Also in the car were Mundell's wife in the passenger seat and Junior Reed, who was sitting in the back seat.
March 1983.
Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was born Sylvester Morgan and was the oldest of 5 brothers, his youngest brother being the singer, Junior Kelly. His parents were both involved in music, the father playing banjo, as well as Jim Kelly's grandfather, and the mother sung in church. Jim Kelly became known as a resident DJ on the Kilimanjaro sound system, previously DJing for Roots Unlimited. He was shot and killed in Spanish Town, Jamaica in 1983. His brother Junior Kelly witnessed the murder.
August 1983.
Mikey Smith. Mikey Smith was a Jamaican dub poet. Along with Linton Kwesi Johnson and Muda Baruka, he was one of the best-known dub poets. In 1978, Smith represented Jamaica at the 11th World Festival of Youth and Students in Cuba. His album Me Can't Believe It includes his poem of the same title. He had left anarchist leanings and Rastafarian sympathies. Mikey Smith attended a political meeting in Stony Hill where the ruling JLP Minister of Education, Mavis Gilmore, was speaking, and he was said to have heckled her. The following day, he was confronted by 4 persons believed to be party activists who picked up an argument with him, which led to the throwing of stones, and he died as a result of a blow to his head.
September 1983.
Prince Farai. Prince Farai was known for his gruff voice and critical assessment of the Jamaican government. His track Heavy Manners used lyrics about government measures initiated at the time against violent crime. Prince Far was assassinated by gunmen at his home in St. Catharines, Jamaica on September 15, 1983. The attackers smashed their way into the house while he was watching television with his wife Caro, shooting him dead and leaving the woman with bullet wounds.
April 1987.
Carlton Barrett was best known for being the longtime drummer for Bob Marley and the Wailers. He is credited with popularizing the one-drop rhythm. Carlton was sadly gunned down at his gate at 12 Bridgemount Park Avenue, Kingston 8 about 9:30 p.m. on April 17, 1987, and the persons responsible for snuffing out the life of the deceased was the wife, Albertine, her boyfriend, Glenroy, and the gunman, Junior Neal aka Bang.
August 1987.
Major Worries. Major Worries was born Wayne Jones in 1966 in Spanish Town, Jamaica. He began his career in 1985 as a DJ on the King Jammy sound system. He was noted for his mimicry, which he used to full effect in his DJ recitations. His debut release, the King Jammy-produced Topa, was a poignant yet witty tale of an alcoholic in search of liquor and was an assured dancehall hit. Major Worries was shot to death by a policeman in Spanish Town on August 9, 1987.
October 1987.
Lee Van Cleef. Lee Van Cleef was born Devin Perkins and taking his stage name from the spaghetti western actor, Lee Van Cleef. He made his rep performing live on sound systems like Prince Jammies, Virgo, and Gemini. In 1982, he dropped 2 LPs, both recorded at Channel 1 Studio with backing by the Mighty Roots Radix. Unfortunately, as the 80s drug epidemic took its toll on reggae music, Van Cleef would also fall victim. He was shot and killed in Brooklyn, New York in 1987. His history remains little documented apart from a stack of singles and the 2 albums, Reggae Sunsplash on the Revolutionary Sounds label.
December 1987.
Louis Lepke. Louis Lepke was born the 12th of August, 1957 in St. Anne, Jamaica. His first recording was Can't Take Me Landlord under the name of Ron Lepke. It was recorded by Joe Gibbs and released under his JGM label. Lepke wasn't bound to any specific sound system but would perform with sounds such as Gemini, King Sturgiv, and Volcano. He would in the 80s relocate to New York. In December 1987, at the age of 30, Louis was shot and murdered outside the Manhattan Dance Hall Reggae Lounge.
September 1987.
Peter Tosh. Peter Tosh was born Winston Hubert McIntosh in the rural parish of Westmoreland, Jamaica, in 1944. He was abandoned by his parents and shuffled among relatives. When McIntosh was 15, his aunt died and he moved to Trenchtown in Kingston, Jamaica. He was educated in Bluefields up to age 17, then moved to Kingston to live with his aunt. Along with Bob Marley and Bunny Wailer, he was one of the core members of the band The Wailers between 1963 and 1976, after which he established himself as a successful solo artist and a promoter of Rastafari. Peter was shot and killed on September 11, 1987, inside his home in Kingston.
February 1989.
King Tubby. King Tubby was born Osborne Ruddock on January 28, 1941. His career as a radio and TV repairman began in the late 1950s. The nickname Tubby referred to his proficiency with tube amplifiers. With the birth and growth of sound systems came the need for an accomplished electronic repairman. One day a sound system operator approached Osborne for help with a repair. Soon after, he was repairing sound systems all over Kingston. King Tubby was shot and killed on February 6, 1989 by an unknown group of people outside his home in Duhaney Park upon returning from a session at his Waterhouse studio. Sadly, this tragic crime has never been solved. That's all we got for you in this episode, and thanks for watching. Do remember to subscribe, give it a like, and post a positive comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you again very soon for another crucial video.
Many thanks for watching Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.